Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel. When you think of the American West, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For many of us, it's the lone figure of a cowboy, silhouetted against the sunset, maybe riding a trusty horse. He's tough, independent, and the ultimate symbol of American freedom. But have you ever wondered where this legendary character actually came from? The story is a whole lot more complex and fascinating than most movies would have you believe. It's a tale woven from different cultures, driven by economics, and shaped by the rugged landscape of the American frontier. So, saddle up, because today we're riding back in time to uncover the true origins of the American cowboy. The roots of the cowboy don't actually start in the United States. We have to go further south, to Spain and Mexico. The Spanish were the ones who first brought cattle and horses to the Americas in the 1500s. They also brought their own traditions of ranching, which had been honed over centuries on the Iberian Peninsula. The Mexican vaqueros, a term that literally means cowmen, were the true pioneers of open-range cattle herding in the New World. They were master horsemen and expert ropers, developing all the essential tools and techniques we have with cowboys today. The wide-brimmed sombrero, which became the cowboy hat, the leather chaps to protect their legs from thorny brush, the lariat or lariata for roping cattle, and the distinct Western-style saddle with its prominent horn. So, how does vaquero culture make its way north into the United States? It all comes down to one major event: the end of the American Civil War in 1865. After the war, Texas was overrun with millions of wild, unbranded longhorn cattle just roaming free. At the same time, cities in the north and east were booming, and their growing populations were hungry for beef. This created a massive economic opportunity. The problem was getting the cattle from the wilds of Texas to the railroad hubs, hundreds of miles away in places like Kansas. This was a dangerous, difficult job that required a very specific set of skills. This is where the American cowboy, as we know him, was born. Young men, many of them Confederate veterans looking for work, flocked to Texas to take on the challenge. They learned the trade from the experienced Mexican vaqueros, adopting their tools, their language, and their methods. But the American cowboy wasn't just one type of person. The workforce on these cattle drives was incredibly diverse. About a third of all cowboys were Mexican or black, many newly freed African. Americans saw the cowboy life as an escape from the discrimination and low wages of the post-war South. It was a life of grueling work, but on the trail, a man was often judged more by his skill and grit than by the color of his skin. The great cattle drives of the late 19th century, from roughly 1866 to the late 1880s, cemented the cowboy's place in history. These journeys, pushing thousands of cattle across prairies, rivers, and deserts, were epic undertakings. They faced stampedes, treacherous weather, and conflicts over land. It was this short-lived but intense period that created the legends and the folklore. It was a time of incredible hardship and adventure, which was later romanticized by dime novels and eventually Hollywood. These stories transformed the hardworking, often underpaid ranch hand into the heroic sharpshooting icon we recognize today. The era of the open-range cattle drive ended almost as quickly as it began, thanks to the invention of barbed wire and the expansion of the railroads, which made long drives unnecessary. But the legacy of the cowboy, a unique blend of Spanish tradition, American grit, and multicultural heritage, lives on as a powerful symbol of the American West. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this journey into the past interesting, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from history. We'll see you on the next episode as we take you through the birth of the Wild West,